bit deeper into what this all means for Illinois, specifically lawmakers in Springfield.
All right, let's bring in Republican State Representative Dan Ugaste from Geneva. All right, there he is. Dan, thanks for joining us today. So, Dan, is this thing over yet with the Bears?
You know, whether it's over or not, only the Bears could tell us that. They're the ones that have to make the decision and decide when their deadline is and have to move forward. If they have, in fact, indicated they're still willing to hear from the state of Illinois, well, then I'd say no, it's not over yet. But we need to do something. We need to do something as the Illinois General Assembly. We need to do it quickly, and we need to start moving forward right away.
All right, so what do you make of that statement saying they're moving forward with Project Hammond, but they didn't specify the site? Does this just make it any more confusing about what the Bears had released and some of the conversations Kevin Warren apparently had with some lawmakers?
I don't think it's confusing at all. The Bears have always indicated that they would like to stay in Illinois. They came to the State House first and the governor a couple of years ago. They laid out that they wanted to stay in Illinois, but they need some help in order to do so. And nothing was done for the longest time. We failed them. Our leaders failed them. The governor's office, the speaker's office, the Senate president, they did not move forward quickly enough to have this addressed. We could have done this a long time ago. When that didn't happen, the Bears started entertaining proposals from Indiana. And with that, they're now looking at a site in Indiana because Indiana very quickly put together a plan that was attractive to the Bears.
So, of course, Illinois trying to get back into the conversation now. What do you think the appetite is for a special session?
I couldn't tell you the appetite for a special session. I can tell you, though, there's an appetite to do two things in Illinois. One, fix property taxes in the state of Illinois. The whole reason we're in this situation is there's a property tax problem in the state of Illinois for all Illinoisans. It's affecting the Bears, and because of it, another large company is looking to move out of Illinois. We need to fix it. But also, a lot of people don't want to pass up on a huge economic development project. We're talking the entire project, we're looking at $3 to $5 billion. No one wants to lose out on that opportunity, on the jobs it will create, on the future revenue stream. It will mean for working people, for the state, for the local governments. I mean, it'd be foolish to pass it up.
It just seems like, you had Indiana Governor Mike Braun basically say, hey, welcome, Chicago Bears, almost kind of seeing it like a done deal. However, as I was just talking with you, Dan, is the messaging of like, hey, we're still having these conversations here. So speaking of that, you had Senate President Don Harmon that said we are ready and willing to re-engage with the Chicago Bears when they realize Illinois will always be the best place for them. What did you make of that thing? And do you think because we're talking about this has completely consumed our news cycle, is this now the Bears' real leverage, or is there real talks to keep them here in Illinois?
I'm hoping there are real talks to keep them here in Illinois. I haven't heard of them yet. Part of the problem has been, and I've mentioned this before, that they've left Republicans out of these discussions. What we need is to work in a bipartisan manner to keep one of our largest businesses here in Illinois as far as, economic development's concerned, and bring forth property tax certainty for both them, as well as some property tax relief for all taxpayers of Illinois. That should do the trick to get enough support to get this over the finish line.
Yeah, you would think, right? What do you make of Kevin Warren's comments to Representative Cam Buckner about continuing conversations about a potential stadium in Illinois? Doesn't that just make it seem like Illinois isn't out of it yet?
I would think so. I'll take Representative Buckner at his word that those statements were made. But the very fact that they're moving forward, they're advancing their work on the site in Hammond is problematic. We should be done with this by now. Even if we just started on it in the spring session, we started talking about bills and committee hearings in March. Again, working with both sides, we could have had this done. A very sensible, reasonable bill for the Bears that included property tax relief for all taxpayers. We're done.
So what's going to be the next step from here, and when do you think that somebody is going to call a special session? Because in my understanding, it's House and Senate leadership, and the governor can also call that special session.
Yeah, when they'll do it, I don't know. I hope it's relatively soon. I plan on trying to put together some type of proposal myself next week that hopefully, that will provide a framework. And if they don't like that one, just put together a reasonable one themselves. But let's involve everybody this time. Let's work together. We should have enough votes if we do that and get this done so that we don't lose out on a big project here in the state of Illinois and future economic growth.
All right, Dan, thank you so much for joining us today to kind of break this down and to hear your perspective. We appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.